Welcome back to What Are Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the 2128, the Tier 9 Soviet SPG. This one's located on the northwest spawn of Fjords under the command of Yarbas of OLIMP. Game on! Where it's the big 203mm howitzer. You can tell it's a short fat gun rather than a long thin one. It's capable of doing 900 alpha and it will penetrate 52mm of armor. Now, the good thing about this Arty is for the enemy that it never existed. Yes, it was going to be built on a KV hull. You can see it's a very KV hull in its shape. It was going to be the KV222, which is basically the forerunner of the KV3 hull. So it would have been quite an advanced Arty. Just like the Object 261 was going to be the advanced version of the IS-7, which again never got built. So, well, they built some, but they didn't put it into production. Okay, well, we can see straight away that Yarbas is going for the heavyweights. Jagdtiger rounds out. Good hit. It's a tier 10 game with tier 9 tanks in it. That Jagdtiger is now starting to take damage. He's backed himself up against the wall there, which is not a very smart move. He can't back up and retreat away from the enemy. And so he just has to sit there and take it. And Yarbas is almost reloaded. Standard reload, 37.39 seconds. Yarbas has got 30.94. He can't get a shot on that guy. Oh, but he can hit this guy, the Object 257, who's right at the pass, rounds out. Lands just behind him for 317. Yeah, it's always a good trick, this one, if you can put the shells into the guys who are sitting the other side of the pass. Our guys who are sitting on the other side of the pass are watching the damage being done at a distance, and they're just enjoying the show as the Arty lays into them. Okay, we're about to go again. Rounds out. Direct hit again, right on the engine deck. You can see, in fact, it's right on the rear of the vehicle where it landed. There's a hole. I don't think that was a penetrating shot because he only got 402, which is half the amount, half the alpha, or less than half the alpha. But it means our guys are now starting to come through the pass. And these guys are having to back off, because if they don't, they're going to get clobbered. Well, we've just loaded another shell. Rounds out. Lands next to the 257. We've still got stun, and we're picking up stun assist, so that's worthwhile. In fact, the 257 appears to be backing off because he knows that he's only going to be able to take one more shot and he's out the game. But it's getting a little more difficult to actually get a shell into that corner. Now, there are enemy RT nearby, or enemy tanks rather nearby. He's decided to go back to the 257 just to see him destroyed. He didn't expect that to happen. And this Progetto's backing up. But I think it's almost, well, it's a very difficult shot to try and hit the 66. Just hoping that he comes out a bit more. Otherwise, he's just going to splash him. Only 183 from the splash. But the stun is what we're hoping. We can get the stun assist. Well, he's about to lose his stun. And nope, we didn't get anything off that shell from stun. Okay, this position here is a very good position to be in to shoot at the enemy. The only problem I have with it is that you're actually on the road that runs down from the eastern pass, and if your teammates actually abandon that position, and they've just, one of them, the Object 260, has pulled back, then it might unleash a whole horde of enemy tanks which will come streaming around the corner, and it'll make it very difficult for you as the Arty to drive away. I would actually suggest right now is the best time for him to pull back and pick a different position to fire from, possibly to go back to the original position he was in at B1 so he can shoot at those enemy tanks in the pass, because he should be able to hit them fairly hard. Lost sight of the enemy. He's marked the spot to say, this is where I'm looking at. IS-7. Take some splash. Now would be a very good time to move. The enemy's starting to show that they are making a move through the pass. The Kunstpanzer just took some damage from a Progetto 65, and although we might be able to get a kill on this IS-7 in about 10 seconds time, the enemy might come streaming through that pass in about 10 seconds, and we won't last very much longer after that. Okay, lined up the shot. Rounds out. And it is a kill shot, but now's the time to get out of dodge, because the Kunstpanzer has just abandoned his position, and now there's nothing to stop the enemy tanks streaming through the eastern pass, and we could be going out the game very, very quickly. He suddenly noticed it. Yeah, you have to look at your minimap a lot more to actually notice that these things are going on behind you, and he's decided to make a move. I'm wondering if the Leopard is actually holding them back as well as the Kunstpanzer. The Leopard's, well, he's actually abandoned that position. He's gone away. And yes, we can see now that Yarbaz has decided probably better off over the other side of the river, because at least we've got something between us and the enemy. Keep going. It's a difficult path going in the opposite direction. Yes, he can at least hide behind the rocks. Now, we're way down on the enemy at the moment in terms of kills. Well, 2 kills down. And from this spot, he can get this shot on a 155, the Bosch. Now, dialing in. I'm sure there is going to be an enemy tank coming around the corner any second. Now might be the time to face your gun to your right, to your left rather. He does have those rocks there, but yes, I think the enemy is about to come around the corner. The enemy are now 3 up, and there's the Wizzy. He's making his move. So now we need to get into a spot where we're not going to hinder the 260, but we are going to be able to get shots on the enemy. Okay. We're covering the pass or the corner where they're likely to come down. Our guys are going to spot them first. The Leopard's moved into an ambush position. We lost the Kunstpanzer. So it's only 3 of us against the entire enemy team. Well, not the entire enemy team. They've still got 7 tanks. Some of them are much less hit points than the others. Okay, we spotted one. There's the Wizzy 120. Now, we can wipe him out with 1 round. He fired. Yep, he got him. And there was no return fire. I don't think the enemy knows that we are here as such. They know that the Wizzy 120 just blew up, but they don't know precisely where Yarbaz is located, because there was no reporting of where he was before he got hit, or after he got hit. Okay, Progetto 65 first. Arty inbound. We got stunned, but we weren't killed. And there goes. Oh! He fired at the wreck. That was unfortunate, but it happens. Now, the good news is that they've only got the T-54 on that corner now. But the bad news is he's fairly healthy. It'll take more than 1 shot to take him out the game. The Foch must be closing our cap from a different direction. There's only 3 of the enemy left. They've got their Arty over at the other end. It's also a 212A. There's the T-54. We're not loaded yet, but we will be. If we can get a direct hit, we might be able to wipe him out. No, the Leopard got him instead. And now we've got the advantage. The Foch has turned up. Now, if we do fire from here, we've got the rock in between us at this moment. The 260 and the Leopard have gone the other way round. The Object 260 suddenly noticed what we were saying. Bosh. It was in the chat. He's loaded. He's ready to go. Just needs sight of the enemy. It might mean that Yabaz goes down, gets hit by the leopard, by the Foch. But if he does take the guy down, that will make a big difference. He probably won't be able to kill him entirely, but he might leave a Foch in a badly damaged state, and that will help his teammate to win. Meanwhile, the leopard's going off after the enemy Arty. The Foch did appear, and then it's disappeared again. I wonder where he's hiding. He was very close. No, 260's decided he's not going to stick around. He's going to go off and help the Leopard 1. Which just leaves Yarbaz looking after the cap area. If the Foch did retreat after being seen, he might have gone down to the pass, and he might be trying to come around in a different direction. It might be the 260 who finds him first. Of course, it would suit us if the Foch was seen on this side of the battlefield, because then at least Yarbaz would be able to get a shot at him without getting wiped out. Now having a quick look over on the peninsula, as I like to call it, the peninsula, because it kind of sticks out like one, and looks like Italy actually, and across the water, just a short distance, is what I like to refer to as Yugoslavia. This area. Oh, there's the Arty, the 212A. Now dial in and rounds out. Well, at least we got the clang because we hit the wreck. But no Foch. Very peculiar. Well, at least we're loaded. So we've got another shell. One of the good things about the 212A is you get plenty of ammo to play with. One of the few Artys at this tier that actually does have 40 rounds of ammunition to play with. So you can keep firing all battle long. Pump out as much ammo as you need to get the job done. Well, they're into the last 2 minutes, and the Leopard started to cap. The 260's hanging back. So it's going to be on the Foch to actually interrupt that cap. So he has to be down the other end of the map. From this position, it's not easy to get a shot into the cap area. In fact, it's impossible because the mountain gets in the way. Well, we're almost there. He would definitely get a defender medal if he interrupted the cap now. Last minute. Game will be over in 12 seconds time. The Foch is coming in. And yes, we can see him. Can we get a shot in him? Rounds out. Oh, yes, he did. He actually got a shot on him. Picked up some damage, but the Foch could not interfere with the cap. And the 260 finished him. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was the second class tanker for Yarbaz of OLIMP in the 212A. He got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 11, And he also got a win rate of 2,764, which is Unicum standard. Sadly, he didn't get any other medals in the game, but he did have a big effect, not only on hitting the enemy tanks over in the South Pass, but also he did the smart move. He actually pulled back to his cap to defend it rather than stay there and get wiped out by the enemy as they came around the corner. So let's have a look at the team scores and see where he was. Didn't get the highest damage in the game. That went to the Object 260, and he picked up a lovely load of hit points right at the end by getting 5,099 hit points and taking out the Foch 155. He was the second highest damage in the game. He got 4,420, and the third highest damage turned out to be the Wizzy 120, who got a Confederate in 3,992. When it came to Yarbaz, we can see he got 2,404. He beat all but 4 of the enemy, so he actually picks up 8th place overall on damage. When it came to kills, though, we can see that he's actually in joint 3rd place. The top scorer was the Sharp 4, who managed 4 kills. 3 kills went to the 260 and the Leopard 1, who also got an invader because he was the one capping. And 2 kills went to the Foch 155, the Progetto 66, the Wizzy 120, and on Yarbaz's team, he was also one of the ones that got 2 kills, and so did the T95. When it came to base XP, he's in 4th place overall because the Leopard managed 1,029, the Object 260 got 1,026, very close together, and they were the only ones who managed to get over 1,000 base. But in 3rd place, we got the Kunstpanzer with 938, and then we've got Yarbaz with 894 in 4th place. He fired only 13 rounds in the game, even though the game lasted almost the full 15 minutes, well, it was 14 and a half. He got 4 direct hits on the enemy and 0 penetrations, but 11 splashes. 2,404 hit points of damage, of which 2,339 were at more than 300 meters. The close range shots were on the tanks like the Wizzy 120 and the tanks that were actually trying to come down from the Eastern Pass. He also received 1 hit by way of splash damage from the enemy Arty. It was close enough to stun him, but it wasn't close enough to actually do any damage. 7 enemy vehicles were damaged, 2 were killed, so not enough to get a Confederate, but very close. 898 hit points of stun assist off 9 stuns, including that last shot on the Foch, which gained him a shot of, I think it was about 301 hit points, but he also got the stun assist immediately afterwards. And of course, it stopped the Foch from actually getting to the Leopard before he capped out. So it was a very, very quick shot, very much a snapshot, but it worked. It actually worked and won the game. So on the credit side, he earned a profit of 76,910 credits, and he also took away 2,682 experience points. So a very last moment video, this one, because, you know, in terms of this video actually took place in November, by the way, the replay, but it was a last moment on the game for them to interrupt or at least stop the Foch from getting to our teammates so he could win the game. But at least it turned out well in the end, because by going down, the Foch actually got us the bonus. The Object 260 managed to put a round in and finish off the Foch just in time to get the bonus after we'd already capped out. So a nice little game to stand on its own for Yarbaz. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.